Hi everybody, welcome back to Capital City Beads. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to use a bead spinner to create a 2-in-1 wrap bracelet / necklace. You could wear it either way. When you open up your bead spinner, it's going to be in two parts like this. Super easy. You just stick the bottom part into the top part, bam, it's ready to go. The needle that comes with the bead spinner has a super small eye, so I highly recommend switching to our big eye needle. This needle is curved and the whole thing opens up, so you can use a much wider variety of cord, thread, wire, whatever you need to use to string. For this project, I'm going to be using fine soft flex, and it fits right there inside that big eye needle. Soft flex is a nylon coated stainless steel wire that's super strong. It's my favorite wire to use when just doing basic stringing. Fine is going to fit most bead sizes. For this project, I'm going to be using some size 6 Czech seed beads and some size 8 Czech seed beads, as well as a tube of my favorite size 8 Miyuki beads. I find that these sizes work best with the bead spinner. I know a lot of other sizes will work too. You just want to make sure that the bowl is pretty full. So I'm just going to kind of dump them in there, go for it, and hope for the best. After we're done filling up our bowl, we need to prep our soft flex. For this project, I cut my starting length at 3 feet. It's a lot more than we need, but we do need quite a bit of extra in the beginning and in the end for crimping and for threading. So we're going to cut 3 feet of our fine soft flex, and then we're going to string it into our big eye needle. Something to think about when you're selecting the type of cord you're using is that it needs to be able to go through the bead holes doubled up. So once it's in that needle, that cord or wire is folded in half, so the bead hole needs to be large enough for that to accommodate that wire or cord doubled up. To open up this big eye needle, you can shove your fingernail in there. I just cut my fingernails so I don't have much to work with. So you can shove your fingernail in there and split that whole needle open. Stick your soft flex or your cord inside there, and you want quite a bit of a tail. That way this doesn't slip out while we're trying to use our bead spinner. So you can see, I'm going to test this out. So this is my smallest size 8 bead. That bead needs to be able to fit on there onto both of those pieces. So you want to make sure your beads fit on whatever cord you're using while that cord is inside of the needle. I'm going to tie a little knot at the very end. We have plenty of extra, so we're just going to tie a little knot. You can also put a piece of tape on there if you want, but we need some sort of a stopper so that when we string these beads, they don't just fly off the other end. So to position yourself, you want your hook facing you, and then we're going to spin our bead spinner counterclockwise. So while the bead spinner is spinning counterclockwise, we're going to stick our needle in there and hook those beads on. They will fly, beads will fling out of there, it's totally normal. Do a little, and then we're going to push them down. And you might have to give that a little tug when you get to the part where it's folded, but they'll slide right on. So do a little more, push it down. We're getting a super nice combo. It's selecting beads randomly, which is great. My brain does not allow me to string beads randomly, so this is a great exercise on letting go and letting the beads just kind of go in whatever order they want. Great for color combos, but you can see you can't really pick the order the beads are in. If you want to do that, go back to regular stringing. Or use the bead spinner to string on sections of solid beads. But if you're going to put a bunch of beads in there, it's going to happen the way it's going to happen. Every once in a while you can stop and wrap this around your own wrist and see kind of where it's landing and how you're doing lengthwise. At this point I'm just barely making it around twice and I want to go around 3 times. Oh, see, beads fly. It just happens. I noticed that tends to happen when the bowl starts to get a little low on beads, so I think they fling out less when the bowl's really full. We're going to keep stringing until we have about 20 inches worth of beads on our wire. 20 inches goes around 3 times. It gives us enough room to add our findings, and it makes a super cute necklace as well, so you can still get that 2-in-1 effect. Before we crimp, we need to snip off this end where it was connected to the needle because it does have a kink right there. So just snip that off, and now we can attach our findings. First thing we're going to put on is our 2x2mm crimp tube. Just slide that on the end. The next thing we're going to put on is our wire protector. It's shaped like a little horseshoe. Wire goes up one of the feet and then comes back down the other foot of that horseshoe. And this gives a protection between the wire and the findings so that your wire lasts a lot longer. Before sliding it into that crimp bead, we're going to slip on our closure. I'm using a lobster claw. You can use a toggle. You can use whatever kind of closure you like. Lobsters are my favorite because I do find them to be the most secure. Slip that little tail into the crimp tube and pinch the wire protector, adjust it to your liking, make sure it looks nice and clean, and then we're going to use our crimping plier to create a secure crimp. Step 1 is in the inside channel. This turns our crimp bead into a little kidney bean shape. Step 2, we're going to put the sides of that kidney bean into the top channel of our crimp pliers. The little crease is facing out and that top channel squeezes that closed into a little taco shape. The tip of your plier is flat, so you can use it to help squeeze that little taco shape as tight as possible to have a nice, small, tight crimp. Next, you're going to grab your needle nose pliers, a pair of pliers that's really smooth on the inside, and a crimp cover. Slide that crimp cover, kind of like a little Pac-Man mouth, over your crimp bead, and we're going to really gently close this crimp cover over our crimp bead. You can't just go in there and one shot, bam, your crimp cover is closed. It will not work. Crimp covers are a little tricky, but if you're patient, you just want to go nice and slow, pinch a little, readjust your plier, pinch a little, see which way it's closing, and you're going to just gently close in many directions and kind of mold and shape this crimp cover into a round bead. It is a little tricky, but I promise you it is totally worth it and it'll make your jewelry look super clean. Now we're ready to crimp up the other side. So you can slide your beads all the way down, and we're actually going to feed that little tail through those last beads. We're not going to trim it at all. We're just going to slide our beads right over that tail. Before you just go crimping the other side, you want to remember that this is a bracelet and it is going to be worn in a circular shape. So you don't want to crimp it in a straight line. If you crimp it in a straight line, it's going to be crimped way too tight, and when you go to wrap it around your wrist, it's not going to work. So I like to put it in its bracelet shape while I'm crimping so that I can make sure my tension is accurate. I snipped off my little bead stopper, and now I'm going to string on my crimp bead. We're doing the same thing we did on the other side. Crimp bead first, then wire protector up one side and down the other. And for this side of the bracelet, I am using a little bit of extender chain. It's about 2-3 inches. You can also use a soldered jump ring. If you are using a toggle, this would be where you put the other side of your toggle, but I do have a little bit of chain I'm going to add on to this to make it an adjustable bracelet / necklace. Go back down through that crimp bead, And we are also going to feed it back through about 1 inch of beads. So just keep shoving that down, and wherever it comes out, that's where we're going to pull it out. So it's going to go through those beads to kind of hide that tail. We're going to pull pretty tight, but again, make sure that bracelet is in its bracelet shape. You do not want to crimp this in a straight line. So it's nice and tight. I can't see any excess wire on the beginning of it. I can't see any excess wire on the end. Now we're going to crimp. First, we're going to use that inside channel to create the kidney bean, and then the outside channel to fold it into that little taco. Make sure it's nice and tight. Trim your excess wire. And now we can attach our last crimp cover to cover up this crimp bead. Slide that crimp cover on. Position your hand so you can see the opening and gently close from many directions, folding, morphing, and gently closing that crimp cover into a bead. Don't go too fast or it'll be a hot mess, and it could potentially cut your wire. So you do want to make sure you're using that crimp cover correctly. You can use some jump rings to add charms if you'd like. You can dangle whatever you want, charms, tassels. Use your pliers to twist your jump ring open, hook on your charm, and then connect it wherever you feel fit on your bracelet. I hook it into my wire protector or into my extender chain because I like kind of keeping all the metal bundled together. But there's really no rules. You can put a charm or a tassel wherever you want. Wrap it up, put it on, enjoy your beautiful 2-in-1, super easy to string because you used a bead spinner for wrap bracelet / necklace. All the materials I used today can be found on my website, capitalcitybeads.com. Be sure to join the Bead Fam on Instagram. There are some incredible artists over there. We love you guys. Thank you so much for watching our YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss our next tutorial.